A warm welcome to Social Sciences class, all my dear young minds, the sprouting young talents of the nation. Right, ma? Hereby I want to bring to your notice, you might have observed what performance you made in the last history when a test was conducted in a little topic in this particular chapter itself. You all are aware. Yesterday you wrote the exam and you got your score also well. So at least hereafter you will be giving equal importance to the social sciences is my opinion. You will be giving is my opinion. Because if you don't give, these concepts will be never repeated back and again and again. And you will be in deep soup when revision activities starts. It is an important topic which will be carrying weightage of some 5 to 8 marks in the final exam. Got it? So, hereafter at least you pay attention to the subject, and your previous videos also, if you did not watch, please watch related to this topic. Thank you. And now we go into the concept, rise and fall of Hitler. Rise of Nazism and fascism is the concept. Here, why only Hitler's rise and fall is mentioned? Because he made an indelible imprint in world history by his aggressive policies, wherein he made Germany to bounce back to its old status within 2 decades of time or 20 years of time. Actually, after World War I, Allied powers believed it even after 200 years, Germany can't revive its economic strength or military strength and so on. But making all that false notions, making all those opinions of Allied powers wrong notions, Hitler emerged as a champion, one of the champion in the world with his shrewd diplomatic policies and also military tactics, war tactics and so on. So what this Hitler is, and he is a major cause, for World War II. Why? Because he made Germany to rise to that extent where Germany can produce 1.5 warplanes. That means in a year 500 warplanes it was able to produce. He strengthened the military navy of Germany with a good number of torpedoes and submarines. A restriction was imposed upon this even though he was able to do this. How? What is the appeasement of Hitler? What are the policies adopted by him? What are the promises made? We start with promises made by Hitler. And what are the means and ways he opted to reach the common masses and gather their support to Nazi party? Of course, it will be followed by how he claimed the power in that particular country. The party which was able to secure only 2.6% votes in 1928 elections to the Reichstag. Reichstag is the lower house of Germany in the good olden days. Now it is called Bundestag, and Reichsrat was the upper house of Germany of the day. Now Bundestag is the upper house of Germany, right? Now we go into that area, how this man became a hero, and suddenly after a certain time, after 2 decades or 1.5 decade, how he became zero. That is, he took his birth in 1889 and the date of birth is 20 April. 20 April 1889, Hitler took his birth. And Hitler lost his life, or his breath lost on 30th April 1945, where Germany got lost in the hands of Russia. Even Berlin was captured by Russian troops, army troops. So he killed himself. It is said popularly, believed popularly. He committed suicide in a bunker along with his close followers and his wife, newly married wife. So this is the story of Hitler, who rose as a hero and who end of the day became a zero. So, dear friends, whatever the heights we reach, we should be much more obedient. But this is the lesson we learn from Hitler. And natural phenomena, Newton's third law of motion, or something else you say, or force of gravity. So what it speaks about, all the flying objects have to come down. Whatever the height they may go, one day they have to crash to the ground. That's it. So even whatever the height we go, we should be very cool-headed, and we have to carry our activity in a smooth and soft way where we will be living after death also. But if people live for two things, good thing and bad thing, even after death. Extreme good, extreme bad also lives. Ravana and Rama, that's example. Right. So here we come across Hitler. Hitler took his birth on 20th April 1889, that is in 19th century, and he lived up to 1945, 30th April. Meanwhile, what did he do? Actually, in childhood itself, Hitler lost his parents. He moved like a vagabond, and he used to use the skills in him, that is drawing skills, playing music on the streets, and if any people donate some charity, with that he eked out his daily bread, and in that way he lived for some days. But suddenly he underwent influence by Mr. Nietzsche, a philosopher, German philosopher, and he is the man. Nietzsche is the man who infused patriotism strongly in the heart of Hitler, and Hitler got moved because of the Treaty of Versailles, which he insulted entire German nation. Even Germany was forced to change its name. So he strongly contemplated that I will take revenge, or I will avenge this insult made to Germany, and I will build that grand Germany. So even he took part in World War I, where he got injured in the war. For his valor or courage shown in the war, he won an Iron Cross also during that war. After that, he started thinking about designing himself to make a grand Germany, which was existing before World War I. So he joined a party called Social Workers' Party, and there only 7 people are there in that party when he joined. Soon he started inspiring the people with his speeches. He's a great orator, and soon hundreds, thousands, and lakhs of people started rallying with Hitler after listening to his speeches. So in these speeches, what he promised to the people, promises made by Hitler. Hitler promised that glory of German nations or nationals to bring back, which was existing before World War I. What glory Germans were having, that glory I will bring back if you give me a chance, was the saying of Hitler. And Hitler strongly advocated that this is all humiliation created by or injustice done by Treaty of Versailles, that will be countered back. All the young men in this country will be provided employment. I'll provide secured future for you all, for the youth. And I'll see that no mother will be starving her children with hunger. I'll bring down these prices. I'll put a check to the inflation. And I'll make that grand Germany which was existing in ancient history before World War I, grand Germany. And I'll bring back the racial supremacy of Aryans or Arctic race if you give me a chance. I'll bring back supremacy of, racial supremacy of Aryans. The Aryans are born to rule the world. They are not supposed to be ruled by someone. And for this, if you want this Aryan race to be superior, dominating the world, and entire world will be at the footsteps of Aryans, support me. I'll give you that. I'll give you that supremacy. I'll bring back that glory of the nation. And he strongly opposed communism and capitalism. He said that they are nothing but two heads of same snake. Same snake. What is the snake? He identified that is having two heads. One is communism and another is capitalism. Jews. And he strongly believed Jews are the people who are cause for this bad status of Germans. That is a double-headed snake. A single snake having double, they are not against each other, capitalism and communism. I will show in future to you, you must fail to believe it. So we should not be on the side of capitalism or on the side of communism. Both are harmful for German race. They both created a harm to us. So this bad status is because of that fellows only. We have to oppose them strongly. And we have to become, should be united. Only it is possible by being united. So he started saying these all things to the people. Mostly he targeted the middle class who worstly got suffered already. Their condition was very, very bad when this Great Economic Depression started. And after the advent of Great Economic Depression, middle class's condition turned very miserable. And he targeted them and promised them that he will be giving a safe and secure life for them. Middle class is also waiting for something miracle to happen and some savior have to come to save them. Because whatever the bank deposits are there, all the savings are there, they all got a diminution because of increased prices of day-to-day utensils. Day-to-day utensils means the things which we use in a daily life. So now they started seeing a God. That's why in 1928 elections to the rich stack, 1928 elections he got only 2.6% of votes. 2.6%. By 1932, 37.8% something he got the vote share. In the total number of votes polled, and in 232 seats he won in the rich stack. Using the racial supremacy as a trump card. But Trump means not American president, success card. But these are the promises made by him, and he made the people believe it. What is his approach to attract the common masses? Hitler developed a new style. He believes strongly rituals are a must. Rituals means the practices which are visible very clearly to everyone. So, and attract even others who are not inclined towards Nazi party, them also towards the Nazi party. For this purpose, what he started? He started frequently carrying huge rallies with his partymen who are putting on weapons in their hand, marching in the streets of Berlin and so on, the cities of Germany. Got it? And their style of salutation is also very great. This way, this is swearing in, aspect like this. This is a Nazi style of salutation. In the name of Führer. Führer means Hitler. Ruler. They used to say Führer. So Hitler. Führer is word usually. But Herr, H-E-R-R, Herr, as sign of respect to the Hitler. Winston Churchill used this word Herr, H-E-R-R. You can see that. I think 14th lesson. I think Gandhi wrote a letter to Hitler during World War, before starting of World War, asking him not to be aggressive, not to carry an imperialistic attacks upon neighboring countries, which may lead to World War. So please stop asking him. Mahatma wrote a letter to Hitler. There he mentions Herr, the word used by Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of Britain during Second World War. Right. So in this way, salutations were there, and attractive style of applause for meetings. When he speaks, there used to be a different style of applause from all the Nazi party workers. That is, he used to that is like this rhythmic clapping. That's all at a time, thousands of workers at a time without any difference. All the people at a time, they stop and they stop. Such things attracted, spectacular aspects were taken by him. Got it? And they used to carry the red banners with the swastika, the symbol. What is the symbol? Swastika. Swastika in the hands of Lord Ganesha, you might have seen the recent. Got it? On one hand of Lord Ganesha, Omkara is there, other hand it is swastika. Swastika is sign of success. Swastika. Swastika symbol is there. So that swastika is symbol of Nazi party. And huge gatherings, wherever a meeting is there, frequent meetings, and everywhere there will be thousands of Nazis will be attending. And he opposed, whom did he oppose? Strongly opposed communism, strongly opposed capitalism, he strongly opposed workers' movements. He strongly opposed workers' movements, workers forming unions and trade unions is not accepted by Hitler. Not accepted by Hitler. And this gentleman did not accept the Jews. He identified Jews as cause for the misery of Germans. And he named both capitalism and communism as two heads of the same snake called Jews. But they look that they are fighting against each other. Not. The Jews, Jewish domination over the world, they only created this capitalism and communism, and they are making the old countries to rally behind them. Some countries are going at the back of communism, some are going at the back of capitalism, but finally, Jewish domination is going on. We are not there to see the Jewish domination, we are there to make Aryan domination. Aryans are called as Nordic race. So Nordic race domination we want to make, and Nordic race people are born to rule but not to be ruled. In this way, in this style of addressing opposing the rivals, he started making a great image among the Germans and Germans who lost hope in the existing government, socialists, communists who came to power after World War I. Could not meet the needs of the people or aspirations and wishes of the people. So now Hitler started getting, they started looking a ray of hope in Hitler. He is there, someone is there who is having a strong love towards the motherland. His patriotic feelings made them to move, common masses. They felt sentimental. Now in India we are also seeing this much. Got it? And people started rallying at the back of Hitler soon. That's why these elections 1920 got 22.6%. 1932 elections 37.8%. But we can compare it with one of the political party in India that took its birth in 1980. But it was having 16 seats in the day, and with the 30 years of time on the plank of a religious aspects, it was able to capture power. Even I think 28 years, within the span of 28 years, it reached the highest post using religious aspects in India. We know, I don't want to make it public, right? So, this is how Hitler also displayed in his own country. After coming to the power, Hitler did not betray the people of his country. He was successful in economic policies. What he said, he did. That's the greatness of Hitler. If anyone anyone who are following the dictatorial aspects of Hitler, they have to know these good aspects of Hitler. Why? Because in the area of economic policies, he was very great successful. He was able to provide employment to the youngsters. How? By providing employment opportunity. That is, war industries. He violated the Treaty of Versailles. He started making war industries. When he violated Treaty of Versailles, why Allied forces did not say anything to Hitler? They did not say anything to Hitler because the capitalistic world is worried about communist Russia and communist guerrilla fight going on in China. Communist Russia's influence communist Russia getting influenced the West African countries and even Central American countries like Cuba, South American states. So this created a fear in the western part of the world, capitalistic western powers. So they started supporting Hitler economically. Why? Because this fellow will be useful to put a check to the ongoing communism. So they started funding. They had a soft look towards Hitler. They did not think that he will be raising himself against both communism and capitalism. They thought if we give him support, he will be showing some gratitude to us and he will be rising against communism and we can use him as a pawn to fight against communism instead of we people go and fight against communist countries or communist philosophy. They thought and they started giving him support. When he was growing, he took support from the capitalist countries. And with that money, he put a check, not only money, none. Those countries separate food grains also. When food grains inflow is there, the prices of food grains came down, inflation came down. Even common people with a little money can buy the food grains. Employment was provided, war industries were open. He had one of the great economists with him, who is called Hammerstad. Don't mispronounce it. H-A-L-J-M-E-R. H-A-J-M-E-R. S-T-R. Scott. Hammerstad. So, J is silent nana. Hammerstad. So, this Hammerstad is one of the important economists who acted as a finance minister of Hitler. He started planning economic policies of the country. National highways were built for easy, smooth transport, like what we are seeing now, it's going on in India. And not only this, Volkswagen, you all know now, Volkswagen W and V is symbol. Yeah, that came into existence during the time of Hitler only. Volkswagen car came into existence during the time of Hitler. In this way, industrial progress, Germany started witnessing. And in case of army, he started conscription. Conscription was prohibited by Treaty of Versailles according to military sanctions, but he did not care. He started recruiting the youngsters into the army. And I said, you know, just now, it reached that position. Every year it was able to produce 500 warplanes. Other countries are putting a demand in front of Germany to supply warplanes and submarines. He is getting money, and he started giving money to the people through in the form of employment and so on. Employment, if people start getting, they get salary. Again they will purchase goods. The economy started building. It raised leaps and bounds. So people are happy with the Hitler. And where the problem started, certain area, this is the one side of the coin. The other side of the coin, Hitler, once coming to the power, he, after becoming Chancellor of, in 1932 elections, by January 33, he became Chancellor of, 32 elections were held. In 1933, January, he became Chancellor, means Prime Minister of Germany. And luck favored him, or he made things we don't know. As soon as he became Prime Minister, the President of the country, Hindenburg, died with a heart attack. It is man-made or God-made, nature-made, we don't know, but he died. And once he died, Hitler went for a plebiscite. And when he went for a plebiscite, some of his well-wishers who were there sailing with him for a long time, they said, what for plebiscite? He want to capture even the power of the president, and he want to make Germany a totalitarian state. A totalitarian state is there where total authority will be entrusted in the hands of a single person. He will be judiciary, he will be media, everything will be under his control. Media, judiciary, legislative, executive, everything. No parliament, he suspended the parliament. No parliament. All the parliament members were put behind the bars. Political parties which oppose Socialist Party, Communist Party, they were hunted, they were tortured, making them in concentration camps, killing them brutally. Jews. Even Einstein ran away, Albert Einstein ran away from Germany during the regime of Hitler. Why? Because he is a Jew. The great scientist Albert Einstein. He did not stay in Germany, he ran out of escaped from Germany to save his life. That was the brutality shown by Hitler against his opponents. Not only opponents, his well-wishers who were there with him for long years, who assisted him in making that great Nazi party, they opposed it. What you are doing is not right, Hitler, let us be democratic. Then he said, you fellows are raising voice against me. He even sent them, put them behind the bars or exiled them from the country. He did not spare his own people when they raised voice against his decisions, opinions. This is the other side. And on 3rd March 1933, 1933. The Sira, month is 3rd, date is 3rd, month is 3rd, and the year also 33. Something sentimental, I don't know, but on 3rd March 1933, he fought, plebiscite he conducted. What is plebiscite? Taking people's opinion. People's opinion, when he took, he got a strong support from the people. And here we can understand, now certain people are really supporters of Hitler only, most of the people in Germany. And even there is no one to oppose him, because if they oppose, they will be beheaded, they will be executed, or they will be, what we can call, their body will be pierced into salt and pepper or a headache. Who will face all these things? They said, okay, something, if someone comes and puts a knife or sword on your head and say that, if someone comes and put a sword on my head and say that, are you a SUP or you a PVS? I want to call you PVS. Do you accept or not? What I'll say? To save my life. If I have to save my life, I'll say PVS. If not, oh, I'm a SUP, whatever, taken off like this thing. So like that, by creating fear against his political rivals, making them away, and only supporters of him are there, and naturally when they support, he got a full majority in the country. And with that acceptance of the people, I say I'm doing this with the acceptance of the people, he passed an act called Enabling Act. Enabling Act. On what day? 3rd March 1933, he became now president, prime minister, parliament, he is the judiciary, he is the media. But no other democracy have 3 pillars. What is the 3 pillars? What are the 3 pillars? Legislative, executive, judicial. And 4th pillar are watchdog, media. Now all are under control of government. Trade unions. Other than Nazi party, no other political party trade unions are accepted. Trade unions means workers' unions. He did not believe in workers' freedom. Workers have to work because they are working not for Hitler, they are working for Grand Germany, which existed before World War I. In that case, we should get ready for sacrifices. It was the saying of Hitler. In this way, he claimed the power. And after claiming the power, how did he carried on a watch or a look upon, surveillance upon people, and to put control upon the people with his exorbitant policies, how he opposed, how he tortured his opponents. These all things will be coming across in the next video, Nana. Thank you all. And after that, we'll come across causes for Second World War and consequences of Second World War. With that, almost all lesson comes to an end. Some small topics like formation of UNO, women, enfranchisement of women, they are there. That will be enfranchisement of women, UNO, last at the end of the chapter. That is within coming 2-3 videos. We will be concluding this chapter. Then on we will move to Unit 19. Those who are following my videos, please keep it in mind. We will go to 19th unit because it is a continuation of this first topic, first chapter, 12th chapter. Able to understand that will speak about what happened after World War II in political arena, social arena, economic arena around the world, and what are the relations of India with its neighbors. So that's why I'm going to take up that point. Thank you, Alana. Then after we come to some other topic. Right? See you all. Thank you.